dozen fiction books, and so this is a video about what I wish I knew 10 years ago when I first started writing. First off, I would just tell myself to just write and not be concerned with anything else except for to write a story. But to write really good fiction, I believe you need to have some sort of structure in your story. It's kind of like when you go to the movies and you see a movie and you're like, it wasn't really that good, but you can't put your finger on why it wasn't that good. Like, what was it about it that wasn't that good? And I bet if you had a stronger understanding of story structure, then you might understand what's missing. We as readers and we as moviegoers, we have certain expectations, whether you realize it or not. Beginner books for writing good fiction, I think, is Goal, Motivation, and Conflict by Deborah Dixon. This book is just so simple in the way it's laid out, easy to understand, and it talks about scenes. It has little charts in there for you to think about the structure of your story. It's a great beginner's craft book for writing good fiction. I highly recommend it. The second book I would recommend as a good fiction writing book is Save the Cat by Blake Snyder. It's actually a screenwriting book, but the fact is a movie and a book, they aren't so different. You're telling a story. It's about storytelling, and this gives you so many examples of good fiction, and it has like a little cheat sheet on the structure of story, the opening image all the way to the final image. It really gives you kind of a skeleton to build your story. I always like to look at fiction, of course, as a Christmas tree, which because it's Christmas time, it's even more true. When you have the idea or the theme of your story, it's like you're writing the first draft. It's like going to choose your Christmas tree and set your Christmas tree up. And once you have to have the base for your Christmas tree strong, or it's gonna fall over. It's the same way with fiction. You have an idea and you're writing your story, but if you don't have the base, the foundation of your tree or your story strong, it's gonna fall over, it's gonna flop. So knowing the basis of building a strong story, I highly recommend both of these books as just an overall understanding of story structure. One other book I'll recommend, not to get too technical, but this one, Scene and Structure by Jack M. Bickham. Another one where I have tons of notes and I wrote in the sides about understanding scenes and sequels. A scene is, or like action and reaction. You need to understand that flow of a story, action, reaction, scene, sequel, to really have a good story. And this is kind of more like you're putting your lights on your Christmas tree, I think, whereas these are building the strong base to stand your Christmas tree on. And I have stacks and stacks of other craft books, but I don't want to get, for a beginner writer on some basic starting books on craft, those are my recommendations for a beginner writer to get started. And if you have questions, I hope that you'll ask me in the comments. And I'd like to hear other videos about my recommendations on writing craft. I would love to hear about it, and I'd be happy to post a video on that as well. Thanks.